What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Final Fantasy Brave Extras video, and this will be a review on Galuf and Lenna, and also Dorgann, one of those words. There's also another unit, but I'm not including him in this video because he's not actually Final Fantasy V. He's like a Season 4 unit, but he's not actually technically like pullable yet, I guess. But he was in the data mine. But he doesn't really look that special, but I'll still review him when his banner comes out. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. But with that disclaimer out of the way, let's talk about Galuf. Infinite turns, triple cast. I just wanted to mention that because he does get triple cast in his base form. So yeah, 3k HP and also 500 attack passive, flat passive in his base form now. 100% chain cap. Although I really don't think these things are really necessary because he really isn't going to be doing a lot of damage in his base form. He does have 200% defense, true shield build. In his Brave Shift, 600% cap, 100% true wield, also has 150% low burst damage passive, 200% attack passive, 100 flat attack passive, which surprised me. That's not an EX level thing or anything like that. He just gets 1,000 attack. Pretty good. 200% plant, 150% beast killer. I'm starting to think that like this, because that is on all of them. All three of them have the same amount of killers. So is this like some kind of like reference to the game or something? Or it's just lazy copy and paste. I'm leaning towards the lazy copy and paste, but let me know in the comment section down below if there's like a lot of plants. Oh, I guess X death, but what about the beast? What's the beast part? I'm not sure on that. I'm guessing the plant because of X death, but that's all I can think of. 80 times mod buff to his lone burst for 5 turns on a 10 turn cooldown. So his now modifier, we'll be talking about that in a second here actually. 30 LB fill to all allies for 1 use, Grandus. And his Brave Shift lone burst, 24 hit 150 times, but 80 times mod boost, which will bring him up to 230 times, which is the standard usually for chaining lone bursts and stuff like that. Not saying it's the best of all time, but it's kind of standard, give or take. 100% plant and beast killer buff. So he's quite strong because of that, but at the same time we'll have to get into some negatives here. His base form does almost nothing new. Other than triple cast, he really got nothing new that was noteworthy. Remember guys, in my reviews, I'm only going to be putting on things that are actually noteworthy. So for example, if I don't put down a Grandus ability of one of the next units, it's because it's the same old thing of the 200% low burst damage, 280% attack or magic buff or stuff like that. It's all the same, so it's not really that noteworthy. They will almost always have something like that. So just so you guys know, his auto attack LB fill for all allies is worse than Zal's, which he's a 4-star and this is a 5-star. So he only gives 4 limp burst scotch per turn, whereas Zal gives 6. So not really that reliable. I thought honestly his was going to be a lot better, but nope, it's worse, unfortunately. And so there's that. And also he's a lot weaker after turn 5. Usually fights don't last longer than 5 turns, so I guess this is not really a big con. But if a fight ever comes up that will last longer than 5 turns, then he's not really that strong after turn 5, because now you gotta wait 5 or 6 technically, maybe 6 turns. For that cooldown to come back online, because his modifier is going to go back to 150 times, and that's not really that powerful anymore. So he relies completely on those first 5 turns to start doing damage. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give him an 8 out of 10 because he's quite strong. He's incredibly powerful. So if you got a lot, I saw some people that said that they have a lot of glyphs on their account. So he's not on the tier of like really powerful, but if you don't have any top tier damage dealers that in terms of chainers, Galuf could be that, that in that situation. He needs to be imbued, but I don't think imbuing is like really that big of a con anymore. If they don't have self-imbues, it's not really that big of a deal, because most times you're bringing like Edel or Poppy Pone or some other conch or something else that can imbue for you anyways. So him having that elemental lone burst or not being able to imbue himself is not that big of a deal. He does have Earth amps on his Grandus, or no, it was a cooldown actually. He has a cooldown on his Brave Shift form, but you don't need to do Earth. So 8 out of 10 for Galuf. He's quite good. Summoner Lenna. Her STMR is definitely bait for people who want more Esper stuff. So there's that. Infinite turns, always a beautiful thing to see. 600% chain cap, 100% magic true wield, 200% relentless damage passive, 200% magic passive, and that's for both forms. So I didn't put that base form there. As you can see, the base form is below that. So that's for both forms. In the base form, 60% Evo damage, 100% Evo magic. Autocast Evo Gosh generation per turn, so she has a little bit here and there per turn. And stuff like that. Limited burst damage, or limited burst in her base form is 24 hit, 70 times fire evoke damage, 100% auto revive for all allies. Not, I mean, it's pretty decent, I guess. We're gonna be talking about this field effect though, 50% fire resistance for everybody. And I'm not mentioning the other field effects because I'm pretty sure those are also only resistance buffs ones, and those are not good. Those are just not really that useful. You really don't need them. I understand what they're trying to do, but there's no trials that require anything like that at this point. There still is no new trials, by the way. No new trials, so just saying. In her Brave Shift form, she has 130% wind and peril on her normal ability. That's quite good. 10% more than the usual. 85% breaks on her normal ability, so she has that on demand as well. So she has 130% wind and peril, and also on another, these are two separate abilities. She also has an 85% break, full break. Nice. 200% beast and 100%. I guess it's reversed. It's reversed. 200% beast and this one's 150% plant killer. Okay. 24 hit, 100 times magic asterisk damage on our lone person or Brave Shift form. 86% breaks, full breaks on all enemies, and also 140% wind and peril for all enemies. Quite good. Now there's some things we need to discuss. Her evil magic is quite low, only 100% compared to Terra's 240. So I really don't think she's gonna be that strong of an evo damage deal in her base form. Especially, I really think that her base form is a flop in terms of her limit burst, because you're aiding the enemy, guys. You're aiding the enemy. It gives 50% fire resistance for everybody, including the enemy, and she does fire damage in her limit burst. So what is the point of this? What is the point of that, guys? Please let me know in the comment section down below. But I'm pretty sure, and everybody in my Discord was saying the same thing I'm saying right now, it doesn't make any sense that she has a fire resistance field for everybody, not just for allies, for everybody, when she uses fire. It doesn't make any sense. But at least her Brave Shift form limit burst is imbuable, just like Lastwell or Ace or Rem, you know, that kind of a thing. But I think that her base form is pretty weak, because Terra has 240%, and Terra is relatively old in comparison to this unit that's a lot newer. And for some reason she has in a Brave Shift form, I mean, this is kind of unique at least. It's unique, I'll say that much, compared to all the stuff we've been getting recently. She has auto-provoking, like, passive. She has 50% chance of being targeted in her Brave Shift form. And she also has provoking abilities in Brave Shift form. I just wanted to mention this as a caution, in case there's a certain situation where you're using her and you're saying, why is she getting hit all of a sudden? Why are all the attacks going on her? Well, she has those things, I guess. She does have some evasion, so you could build her for some evasion if you really want that as well. I'm sold more on her Brave Shift form. If she was an SLB unit and she had that field effect thing, she would be absolute garbage. Thankfully she's not. She's a Brave Shift unit. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her a 9 out of 10, because her Brave Shift form really helps her. It really helps out her score, because if her Brave Shift form was kind of bad, or she was an SLB, she'd be way low. I think her base form is not really that amazing, unfortunately. I just don't think it's really that amazing. She's not a finisher, she's a chainer, so. But at the same time, in her Brave Shift form, she reminds me a lot of Van in a way, because of the breaks. She doesn't have AoE Mirage, but it reminds me a lot about Van, where she can be a provoking chaining instead of finishing, and also being a breaker, and also strong wind and peril, just like how Vaughn can do. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her a 9 out of 10. And we have Warrior of Dawn Dorgann. And when you see that selective thing, I'm not gonna write all the names down. It's for Final Fantasy V only, but it's selective in terms of that. So I'm not gonna write all the names down because it would be too bloated. It wouldn't look too nice. So anyways, Entrust, decent. Lightning and Wind AoE chaining, not really relevant, but I just put that there just so you guys know. It's only 72 times, so it's nothing too special. 200% TDH, 500% chain cap, pretty standard. 200% attack passive, pretty good. 200% limit burst damage passive, so very similar to Tidus, where he's gonna cap, for Dolgan's gonna cap attack and limit burst damage, like the limit burst damage and also attack pretty quickly. And also just give him Cloud's STMR, Nisa, and TDH as well. So just like Sephiroth, he needs 200% more TDH, and he also needs Lightning's STMR for that situation for now. Maybe they'll probably make another Lightning type of, like, thing for like an accessory or something else, I'm sure, in the future. His normal limit burst, oh, I forgot to mention, he's an SLB unit, in case you weren't aware. His normal LB is 24 hit, 150 times mod lightning damage, 25% lightning amp, 150% limit burst damage, and the SLB is 130 times lightning imperil, 35 times, or 35% lightning amp, 100% beast and plant killer, and also 300 times mod lightning damage, 24 hits. So pretty good damage. Instead of a finisher, this time he's a chainer, lightning chainer. So another one use Grandis SLB unit. I mean, there's tons of those now. The only difference is now that he's a chainer instead of finisher. And just very niche instead of using him with Hawkeye, I guess. Because Hawkeye is non-elemental, so he could be imbued with lightning to chain lightning with that situation. 24 hits, and he sucked the lightning damage. So for some reason the wind chaining and all that stuff is really useless on him because his limit burst is lightning, not an elemental, so unfortunately you're stuck with lightning. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and give him a 8.5. Really strong chainer, but just another one of the many SLB type copy and paste units. Just this time he's a chainer instead of finisher. So let me know what you guys think about all these units and which ones they're your favorite, which ones you're going to be going for on the global version if it comes out, or on the GB version if you're playing the GB version. Let me know how I did my review, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!